Hi, Dave Jones back again with the first lesson in these instalments on music theory as it pertains to the guitar, hopefully to make beginner guitar players a better guitar player and more understanding of what they're actually playing. So, it'd be a good idea, like I said before, if you print this sheet off of the website or look at it while you're playing along. So, but the first thing to do, start right at the bottom, is that the 12 notes in music, there's letter names A to G, and in between some of them, not all of them, there are notes called sharps and flats. We'll go into that as we go along. So just because A is the first letter of the alphabet, the notes in music go A, which I'm going to start on the open A string, fifth string of your guitar. Turn it up, shall I? Fifth string of the guitar. There's your A. A, you go up one fret, you get the note A sharp, or it could be called B flat, more about that later. Another fret, you get the note B. Next fret, you get the note C. I'll go into this in a minute. There's no sharp between B and C. The next note, you get the note C sharp. That's the fourth fret. Then, or it could be called D flat. Then you go up to D, fifth fret, sixth fret, D sharp or E flat. Seventh fret, E. Eighth fret, straight to F. No sharp between E and F. Ninth fret, F sharp or G flat. 10th fret, G. 11th fret, G sharp or A flat. And the 12th fret, you're back to A again, which is said to be an octave higher than the first A that I played on the open string. And then the notes just start again, A sharp, B, C, until you run out of fingerboard on whatever style of guitar you're playing. Electric, acoustic, classical, makes no difference, just until you run out of fingerboard. Now they're the only notes that are used in music. So, like I said in the intro, I won't mention the keyboard only this once. On a keyboard, not that I played the thing, but all the white notes are the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And if you've ever seen a keyboard before, you'll notice that there's black keys, that there's a 2, and then a space, and then a 3, and then a space, and then a 2, etc. The black keys are the sharps and flats, and the reason that there's a space, and then 3, and then a space, is they're the notes B and C, and E and F, because there's no black note or no sharp or flat between them. Hopefully that should be the last time I mention anything to do with the keyboard. We're going to relate this all to the guitar. So they're the notes, and they're on the PDF if you want to print them off. So the thing to bear in mind is you go from A to G, every note has got sharp or a flat between them, sharp and a flat between them, except for the notes B to C and E to F. Now, whether you call a note A sharp, that note there is A sharp, first fret A string, A sharp, and B flat. You can call it either name. What you call it depends on, if you want to be correct about what you call it, depends on what key you're in. So I'll come on to that in a little while. So you call it one name or the other depending on what key you're in. But if you're ever in a guitar exam and the examiner says to you what name is the name of that note, you can call it either. It's only when you relate it to other notes as you decide what you actually call it. So I hope we've got that so far. Now the distance is called an interval between any one note on the guitar and the next note, or any one note in any music, but we're relating this to the guitar. The distance between the notes are called an interval. So the main intervals that we need to deal with at the moment are things called a semitone, which is one fret on the guitar. So open string to the first fret is a semitone, first fret to the second fret is a semitone, second fret to the third fret is a semitone, and that works on every single string, everywhere. Anytime you go up from one fret to another, keeping on the same string, the interval, the distance between the two notes you've played, is one semitone. If you play 2 frets, so open A string to the second fret, the interval is called a tone. And a step pattern of set intervals makes up what's called a scale, and all music is based on scales. And all harmony comes out of scales, or like your chords, they all come out of scales, arpeggios come out of scales. So scales are very important. Not only are they important as finger exercises to get dexterity going in your fingers, they're very important because all music is based on them, whether you like rock, pop, jazz, blues, classical music, everything comes from a scale. So the first scale we're going to look at, because it's probably the most common scale, it is the most common scale in music, is called, as in making up harmony and stuff, is called the major scale. And that scale is made up of a series of tones, 2 frets and semitones, and there's a certain step pattern to it. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll move on to, we're still staying on theory sheet 1, but it'll be in the next video. We'll move on to the construction and how to play the major scale on the guitar and understand the notes in it. So I'll see you in the next one.